Today I'm gonna show you how to use the Captain of Crushers and teach you a little bit about physics. So these are the world-renowned Captain of Crushing grip trainers. They are the gold standards of grippers. They're the best out there and the most renowned. One of my goals is to one day be able to close the number 3 Captain of Crush. Only about 350 men in the history of mankind have been able to do that feat. I'm currently working on the 2.5 since quite a while because I've got some, I got some setbacks because of injuring my fingers in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. The crusher is an iron coil. So it's like a spring, which means the easiest part is in the beginning. There is basically no resistance in the beginning. And as you start to close it, it gets harder and harder and harder. Which is also why, if you are seemingly almost closing it, there is no way to do that last centimeter because it actually gets harder and harder and harder. And the last millimeter is the hardest millimeter of them all. Now, to be able to close it all the way, you have to put it in your hand in a specific way, because the limitation is not just the strength. The limitation is also of how you close your hand. Because if a crushing grip, I cannot crush those parts to here, without any gap. So there is a gap. The correct way to put the gripper in your hand is to have one leg up here on these lines and as far in your hand as possible, up with the thumb. And now you see, with my fingers I cannot reach the end because my hands are too small. I got quite big hands, but too small for the gripper. So I'm using a bit to give it into the hand. Those ends now need to have a minimum distance for it to be a legit close. The distance needs to be as much as a credit card. And then crush. For it to be a legit crush, there needs to be no gap. The ends need to be touching. Then it's a legit crush. So I'm doing grip training for quite a while and get a considerably good grip, considering that I'm a martial artist and not a strength specialist. So that means that I can actually crush a number 2 quite comfortably, usually several times in a row. I just did my strength training, so it's not as good as fresh, but between 3 and 5 repetitions with the Captain of Crush number 2, according to official technique and official requirements, is what I can do currently. So if you wanna correct me, please make sure to at least know what you're talking about and at least know a tiny little bit of like 6th grade physics before you try to educate me on how metal spring coils work.